He's Bobby Chinn, a celebrity chef and television host well known in Asia.
Bobby,
hi, nice to meet you.
likewise.
The Egyptian Chinese, who was born in Auckland, was in town recently to promote his new cookbook, Wild Wild East. I caught up with him at the Auckland Fish Market at the Viaduct to show him around, and he was impressed.
I mean, it's amazing, you know? This country's very lucky to have what it has. Look, I mean, look at the eyes, look at the gills. You don't smell fish here. You're in a fish market. I mean, I'm saying you guys got it really good. I might have to move back. The guests, and I was brought out as
This was Bobby's first trip back to New Zealand after he left with his family when he was still an infant.
I was born.
Hey, you're a New Zealand citizen. How did that happen?
Well, my dad was selling encyclopedias down here in the 1960s, so I was born here.
Bobby studied in the UK and ended up in a white-collar job working in New York's Wall Street.
I think I was disillusioned with the idea that maybe money will buy me happiness. And I didn't like working with people that I really didn't want to hang out with in my free time. And I wanted to do something where I created something. I was just pushing pieces of paper around and scribbling numbers all day long and talking numbers all day long, and it didn't really add any sense of real worth towards society.
He then moved on to the hospitality industry and also did a stint as a stand-up comic.
Excuse me. Thank you very much. I studied stand-up comedy and went to the Groundling, which is an improvisational troupe in LA. And in order to support myself, I had to work in the restaurant business because they had flexible hours. Plus, they paid me cash. You get the cash tip, and you ate well.
Bobby ended up becoming a chef and eventually moved to Vietnam, where he became a successful restaurateur. His new cookbook reveals a rich, varied life reflected in his recipes.
It's recipes and stories from Vietnam. And the recipes are a lot of Vietnamese recipes, but then, I felt that I needed to show the stuff that I do, which, there's a little Moroccan influence, there's Californian sensibility, there's French technique, and it's explaining those techniques that I've learned from both my mother, my grandmothers, the great chefs, the Middle East, and all of that is shared in the book. So it's not just a recipe book, it's actually stories of the restaurant industry and going into an emerging market like Vietnam 13 years ago and opening up a restaurant.
Is this good homecoming for you, coming back to the country of your birth?
Of course. There's something that it's like, it's like your maternal place. And I think there's spirituality here. Throw one piece in.
Bobby, who is now based in Singapore, got a chance to demonstrate a recipe from his cookbook at Fair of Fred's Foods in Mount Wellington.
I met Bobby about 8 years ago in Hanoi when I was doing one of my culinary tours through Vietnam. His book represents the eating and the food he's experienced throughout Vietnam. He's a fascinating storyteller, and the book represents those stories and the fun he's had up there as well.
Just like to go like this because it also adds that additional crispiness. And this adds texture as well as flavor, which is very nice.
And while he's here to promote his book, New Zealand is more than just a stopover.
Obviously, my birthplace, to kind of like see where I came from. I've only seen pictures, I've only drunk the wine, I've only eaten the lamb. Now I wanted to come and do that all here. And I find it's much more than lamb, wine, and great produce. It's great people. Thank you, people. Woo, woo, Kiwis. Go All Blacks. I got that. Why do you think I'm acting like this? You think this is all natural? No, no, no. It's all coffee, sure.